Yes, we are back to bring you the vibes, intellectual conversations, deep narrations, analysis, and dissections on the illest show streaming live on television, Teatime. My name is Lydia, and of course, I never do this alone. With me here is the wonderful, fabulous, ever beautiful, beaming Mololua.
Period. She did it better than Abdul Salam. Yes, that is me. Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well, doing okay. How are you doing?
I'm very well. I'm so happy it's Friday. My goodness me.
Same. Get to rest and just.
I'm so happy it's Friday.
Do you have any plans for this weekend?
See, my alarm went off this morning, and I almost like, you know, when you have somebody in the room and they have a set an alarm and it's not an alarm for you. You're like, whose alarm? That I literally woke up, I was thinking, whose alarm? And I was like, wait, it's mine. Oh, so you don't know how happy I am that today is Friday. Can't wait.
I can totally relate. Although this week has been a bit hectic for me.
Yeah.
You know, like we have some programs going on at church, so you know, as a volunteer, I've just been you know in and out. But you know what?
Your reward is in heaven.
Exactly. My reward is in heaven. And you know, we can't do this show without you. So please do join the conversation by calling in on 0908 98408408 to share your opinions on trending discussions. Now, we're here again with our trivia section, and of course we have some engaging questions for you this morning. So the first question is, why are babies always talked to in high-pitched tones?
You know what, there may be actually some science around this because it's a universal thing. Maybe there's like certain sounds that their ears can pick up. I don't know actually because like
maybe, you know, if like you talk in a like regular tone or like a low tone, maybe they might not, or maybe they might be frightened or something. I've never actually known. It just occurs to me, like, why are babies actually always? Because I don't know. Maybe there's just a natural level of excitement that just comes with talking to babies. I don't know what it is like, but I think that's just it. It's just the excitement behind the tones, or maybe just assume. I don't know. Maybe it's also cartoons. Maybe the things we've watched and how we've also seen people talking to babies. So you never really see an adult talking to like a baby like, oh, how are you? But it's always slightly like, oh, hi, and then you're making like baby noises.
Yeah.
So
no, it's true. I think it just sounds more childlike.
Yeah,
I guess children's voices are high pitched, right? Your voice only tends to get deeper as you get older. So I suppose we're trying to mimic that idea, right? I wouldn't speak to you in a high pitched tone unless I'm super excited because you're an adult. But a child, I can't speak to a child the way I speak to you. So I suppose it's just that, really.
It's just the excitement.
Yeah.
Okay, there you have it, guys. It must just be the excitement because I don't really think there's any sort of like science to the whole thing. So, okay, so the next question is, why do people always feel that coppers have money?
Which people?
Generally, people always feel like coppers have money. Like, I remember, I think 2 weeks ago, and I took the bus, and then I think I had my uniform on. I don't know, maybe I was going for CVS or something, and the guy was just like, copper, and then he picked me up, and then he was like, that everybody else is paying maybe like 200, but that me, I'm going to pay, although it was a joke, but I was like, I'm going to pay money, I'm going to pay 1,000, that maybe they've increased money. I don't know, generally people just have this mindset. I'm surprised you haven't expressed it though.
This is the first I've heard of that.
Are you serious?
To me, logically, so now that you say it, it makes sense because when I've been in uniform, even just the other day, I was in uniform coming back from CDS, and then someone was like, copper, buy me water now. I'm thinking, do you guys understand what 30,000 naira means?
Exactly.
33,000 naira is
not the correction.
Because The math is
it's not mathing.
Not
before
mathing.
you know it, the money is vanished.
In my head, even me, I even see coppers as well.
Exactly, literally.
Because nah, bruh.
The 33,000. Anyways,
who sees cop?
A lot of people do. Are you serious? No, a lot of people
members as you that's working. You're hustling 9 to 5. You're like 9 to 9 stuff, and you're charging full price. You're charging your work. Call members don't get paid their work.
Exactly.
I can't.
So people don't even get paid at all. It's only that the allowance that they get.
Call members are used. I can categorically say, I would say at least 60% of the time, call members are used as cheap labor. Because you know that these people have the certificate, but not the experience, and so you capitalize on that. And so you think, okay, I'm giving you the experience, I don't have to pay you like that. Are you joking? Some call members are not even paid enough to get in and back from work in a month. So don't even get me started. I'm truly passionate about this.
Even with the way
to start a charity for call members in the future.
Actually, the way things are going.
I can empathize and give you my own personal story.
It's just, I don't know. That 33,000 is not it. But for whatever reason, from the moment, you know, when I started NYS, people will be like, so that means you're getting money. Money is entering. I'm just like, where is how? You know what? It's fine. Let's just hope that this minimum wage thing changes things.
Even if it changes, the money that we're being paid. If you want to think, oh God. If you want to think about the stress a call member goes through.
I'm telling you. And the prices of transport, they're not even smiling. The price of everything in general. So it's like 33,000. So people are actually expecting
the psychological impact of being a call member.
Exactly.
Yeah? Let me tell you. People, no, honestly, people don't know what CDS means. To do CDS every week, you need to be God's strongest soldier.
I'm telling you.
Even 250,000 naira is not enough to account for the psychological trauma that you go through every week.
I'm telling you.
In those local governments, with those local government inspectors. It's nothing.
Sometimes you'll go and then they'll be like, oh, you know, we're not having CDS. After you spend all your transport to get to that place, they'll not say, oh, there's no CDS.
There's no CDS today.
It's just, I don't know, the whole thing.
Whoever thinks that you need to have a reorientation straight away.
I really hope so, because
33,000 naira, are you joking? Is that a joke? I was talking to one of my friends the other day. She was like, oh, we're talking about NYC, and she was saying her dad was saying that she should come back from the UK to the NYC. She was like, I can't do that. I'm not going to come in, I'm going to come in and be earning. And she was like, let me even Google how much you're earning. And then she was like, oh, 34K, that's not too bad. And then I was just like, huh? Because she was even thinking about the 70-something thousand naira. So she was like, 34K in pounds. I was like,
okay.
I was like, that's 34 pounds. She was like, wait, what? I said, oh.
That's not even enough.
Now you are knowing the reality of the situation. She was like, 34K, that's not too bad as a fresh graduate. Some people get like 20,000 pounds here. I'm like, you're saying 1,000 pounds?
We're talking about naira.
Oh my Lord.
If only, or if only. I really, really hope that this...
you know the prayer I pray? God should give me the kind of money people think I have.
Literally. I think I'm going to start praying that prayer.
God should give me the kind of money people think I have.
Because these expectations are high. And I'm not trying to meet them up for you, but at least let me actually be capable.
No, this one, I can write a book about it. This particular topic. Are you joking?
Are you serious? It is well.
That's all we can say.
And the last question is, why must pap and akara be the national Sunday/Saturday morning breakfast?
No, that one is written in the stars. Like, there's nothing I can't discuss this. Yes, that is just what it is. What else are you going to eat on Saturday morning?
Other food?
Like, no, it doesn't follow. I'm so sorry. It doesn't follow. Just like you have to eat rice on Sunday afternoon.
Again, who is coming up with these things?
See.
Even the combinations, like, can we even talk about the combinations? Like, okay, specifically akara and bread or akara and pap. Like, why?
That akara and bread is, even if you're feeling you think you're Gen Z. It's pap that's the real. But if you think I'm too bougie for this or whatever, or then you can eat akara and bread, but it's actually pap if you are a real Nigerian. Akara and pap, but also some people don't like pap, so you can have bread instead. But you see the akara has to be there. No, it has
So
to
is
be
there
there.
like some kind of, would I say,
It should be written in the Constitution.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Comforting aura that pap and akara brings on like a weekend morning.
I guess it's maybe food that is not so easy to whip up.
Okay.
So the weekends are maybe the time where you have a bit more time to be able to cook
actually
like this.
Because you have to,
in the morning.
soak the beans,
Exactly.
grind it, all of that.
And also it's morning food. It's like cereal kind of vibe.
Yeah.
So the only time you would really eat this is in the morning. The only time you have time is on the weekends. So weekend mornings.
Okay, I think that's a fair enough explanation, to be honest, because I've always just thought about it like, who actually started it? And it's just interesting because I'm sure it's just one person that would have just been like, let's make akara today, and then it just start spreading.
Honestly, it was so interesting to go back in history and find out who the first person to eat the combination of pap and akara was together.
I'm pretty sure that's not the internet, but if you find it, that would actually be fine. Anyways, so let's move straight into our trending stories for today. Speaking on Elon Musk's daughter breaks silence. She accuses her tech billionaire father of abuse. Elon Musk's transgender daughter, Vivian Jenner Wilson, has publicly refuted her father's claims about her transition and their relationship. In a recent interview, Wilson accused Musk of being an absent and emotionally abused father, alleging that their strained relationship predates her coming out as transgender. The 20-year-old strongly denied Musk's assertion that she was influenced by the woke mind virus, unquote, insisting that her decision to transition was entirely her own. She also challenged her father's public portrayal of her, emphasizing her adulthood and rights to self-determination. Wilson's account paints a stark contrast to the public image of the tech billionaire, shedding light on a deeply personal and contentious family matter.
It's always tricky. I think I do sometimes have a special sort of place in my heart for the children of the rich.
Okay.
Because I think that they go through a peculiar experience of their parents.
Okay.
That nobody else really knows. Because everybody sees their parents as, the billionaires and the influential people, the movers and shakers of society that they are. But they see their parents as father or mother.
Yes.
And human. And so that must really be a very, peculiar experience to have, trying to reconcile the idea of your dad at home with this public figure outside. In this particular instance, I think it's clearly at play. Musk's child has said, bro, you guys don't know what, he's like as a dad.
Yeah.
You only know what he's like as a billionaire.
Yes.
So I do empathize.
I empathize as well. And I don't know. I wouldn't say, normally we're always saying, you never really know the full story. But at the same time, I feel, I feel it's a full-time job to be Elon Musk's child. I feel that way, I just feel like there's a lot going on with him, and I think, I'm not sure, but I think, I've heard a bit of his story, and he as well didn't exactly have maybe the best childhood experience.
Oh, okay.
So, it might just be, some people have those experiences and they decide to do better. But some people are not necessarily able to come out of all those kind of circumstances and the trauma yet. So maybe that's what's kind of going on with Elon Musk, and unfortunately it has graduated into, this amount of, what's the word?
Animosity.
Just this, strained relationship with his daughter. And I don't know, I just find it very touchy a bit when parents have issues. I mean, it's not new, and obviously there's generally conflict, between parents and their child. But I think it just hits different especially when your parents is out there. It's different, if you have them all to yourselves, you're living your quiet life. But it's also like, he's out there. he's doing all these other things, making big moves with his money. I don't know, maybe he's supporting some charities, so some people have a view of him and they're like, oh, Elon Musk, fine. He's very, he makes big moves, he's opinionated and all of that, but he might be a good person. But then it's like inside, okay, like this is my father, and I don't necessarily see anything, we're just not gelling together, and it's even worse, with the transitioning and everything. But you know what? I honestly empathize with her, and I really hope that they can make things work. I really do hope that they can make things work. Moving on to our next story. Nigerian DJ Obianoju Catherine Ude, popularly known as DJ Switch, has voiced her support for the planned nationwide protest from August 1st to 15th against the ongoing economic challenges. In a recent social media post, DJ Switch, renowned for her role in documenting the Lekki tollgate shooting during the NSARS protest, emphasized the urgency of this situation and urged Nigerians to actively participate. She criticized the government's indifference to public suffering and warned against superficial displays of support. DJ Switch called for genuine unity across tribal and religious lines to drive meaningful change in Nigeria, dismissing potential criticism from detractors. I stand with DJ Switch. I think any day, anytime. Especially, I would say she was... I've always viewed her as, at least ever since NSARS happened, as like a frontline... Would I say like a frontline soldier on the side of the youth? And I completely agree with her. Everyone should stand together and protest. And personally, I would go. My parents are not a fan of the whole protest thing based on, a lot of trauma that they have seen. But I personally stand with DJ Switch, and I think we should be speaking up more. I think ever since NSARS, people have been more, I think the awareness has become heightened. There's been a lot more awareness, and I think people are now, they're not, there's really just a reduction in apathy, which I'm really happy about. Yes, there's a reduction in apathy. And, I mean,
That's all I have to say. I'm just happy, and I really wish that Nigerians would stand together in this moment, just like they did in SARS.
I mean, I feel like the protest, I almost struggle to have an opinion.
Okay.
Because I don't know that I know a lot about it.
Okay.
All I'm hearing is that there will be a protest, but I don't know much more. I don't know where the protest is being held, or if it's starting somewhere and going somewhere. I don't know who is like leading the protests. I don't know really what I could say the like tagline or the primary objective of the protest are. I don't really know much, so I struggle to say anything really about it, because I feel like those kind of pieces of information are quite key in commenting. So what everyone is saying is going to happen next week, I genuinely feel like it's a matter of waiting and seeing, because I don't actually know. I don't know if it's just me that's in the dark about it, or generally
there isn't, much information
but
coming out about it.
I keep hearing about the protest, but I don't know anything.
Apparently the protest is, just against generally, economic hardship in the country.
So I think if not that, they had already sort of finalized on the minimum wage and all of those things, I think those kind of things would be included. But, there's the fuel scarcity, there's all sorts of things. There's the electricity, there's the water, there's all sorts of things. I think there are all sorts of facets to the protest. But I think although August 1st is like next week, but I do think, DJ Switch is very active. So I think she will definitely, bring out the much needed information concerning the protest.
If she even has it. Because
that's true.
I don't know if we know who exactly, or who the group of people are that are at the forefront.
At the forefront.
So
But I think, even despite, apart from, going out physically to protest, I think you can always, join the protest in your own way. Some people join online. I remember during the NSAS too, there were a lot of creatives doing their own thing. I remember the guy with I think the flag, yeah, and he would just write like the NSARS, stop police brutality, all of that. So, if you don't even get the details on the protest, that's fine.
Because
you can always protest
if
in your own
the
way.
details aren't there, then how do people know how to join? Like, how do we join if we wanted to join the protest now? Is there are there some low-key group chats or?
Not low-key group chat.
No, how do you join?
I think
If I wake up next Thursday now and I say, okay, me too, I want to protest, where do I go? I don't know.
Maybe there will be different.
I just step out my house and find the longest queue
the longest
or
queue.
the loudest noises.
Maybe there will be different what's the word, protest groups. So I don't know. Maybe
so
she's
one island branch, one mainland branch.
It's possible.
It's not even Lagos. Is it just Lagos itself? Or is it's across Nigeria?
I think it's across Nigeria.
Yeah.
So
it just.
I think that might be how it will play out.
I don't know, Sha.
And I think it's, to an extent, it might be safer, especially based on what happened during NSAS. Everyone was together and then, there was... So maybe it might even be a more safer approach to have, separate protest groups. Okay, some people on this side, some people, in this area.
I
what do you think?
There will be strength in numbers. Normally, that's what people say, that the more people there are in one particular, or, pushing one particular... initiative, the more powerful your voice is, and again, safety in numbers as well. But in fact, it seemed like it was the opposite with NSARS. So if with big numbers, what was done, with smaller numbers, isn't it easier to just quench more fires?
That's one way to look at it, I think. But I think at the same time,
well, I don't know. I just feel like this is definitely safer.
Okay.
And I think, at the end of the day, we've already lost so many lives, and, it would still be important to preserve lives because it's the person that's alive that lives to fight another day. So, but yes, definitely, I look forward to joining the protest in my own way. Not sure if I'll be able to join physically, but I look forward to joining the protest in my own way.
Yeah.
So, we're going to go for a quick music break, and we will see you after the break. Yes, we are back. We are back. I hope you all enjoyed the music break. Mo, did you enjoy the music break?
I did, man. I think Ashake he's a work of art. Pun intended. Work of art, truly. I don't know, I don't know how he does it, and it's just back to back hits. First of all, he seems to come out of nowhere. He did it too. I found that he actually didn't. That he really paid his dues, but we discovered him in a way that it just seemed like he just blew, and since then it's been consistent. Whatever that man is drinking, he should continue, because wow, that's impressive.
You really should.
Impressive.
Really should.
When did he even come out? It was 2021 or 2.
Really?
I think it was about 2021.
Was it 2021? I personally feel like I didn't really hear much about him until was it last year?
No, it was 2022 at the very latest. At the very latest. So it was around that 21, 22, and he just
he's just taking it up from there.
Yeah, and I love it for him, honestly. His music is, I think he has something for everyone. His music is he has the very you get Afrobeat, typical Afrobeat. Yeah. But then the calm, yeah.
Aww.
I like it.
We love an Ashake fan.
I like it. So let's move on now to our sort of next stories. We are talking about a pandemic in the society, is what I would call it. What else would you call a BBL? That is now what we call a pandemic in society. Forget COVID-19. We're now talking about BBLs. Imagine. So, a controversial statement was made online by a Nigerian called Omira Ogbede Okpalua about the motivations behind Brazilian butt lifts. Those surgeries are now common, but he has suggested that it's common among single women in particular, saying that the primary goal of single women undergoing BBL procedures is to attract casual sexual partners, a statement that has sparked outrage and debate on social media. His assertion has ignited discussions about body image, societal pressures, and the commercialization of cosmetic surgery. So that's his comment there. The primary aim is any single girl who goes for BBL is exclusive hookup. Girls can argue this, but it's basically like argue with yourself. So a very strong view. Do you agree?
I totally disagree.
Okay.
And I disagree because I think, while, yes, there are obviously exceptions to every, every rule or every thought in general. I think society has gradually started moving out of that phase where women keep doing things for like men, or for stuff like that.
Okay.
I think women now do it because they want to, and I like this type of body shape and I can afford to look like that, so why not? Not necessarily because they're trying to look for people to sleep with, if you know what I'm saying. So I feel, I totally disagree. I feel like women have moved past that,
Okay. But then the male gaze, or doing things for the male gaze, can that ever truly disappear as long as there are females and males in society? Surely, even biologically speaking, the one gender does things to attract the other gender just by virtue of the fact that, like I say, even biologically, men and women are created to come together. So can it ever really be separated?
I don't think so. So I think that, and that's part of why I said I think there are exceptions, to everything. But I think generally speaking, I think women, they do things more and I think it's important because it's important to love yourself the way you are, right? Okay. But if you feel like, okay, when I get this BBL, and I'm not insinuating anything, but if you feel like, okay, this is the body I want, I can afford it, I'll go for it. If you feel like this is what is going to, help your self-image, you do you. But I think, in terms of the male gaze, I think to an extent, I might be wrong, but I think to an extent, do you think that maybe it's just something, how do I say this? It's sort of societal, not pressure, I'm trying to look for the right word, but just something that has been sort of placed on women, like, you know how when you're younger now, or, maybe as you're becoming of age, your parents will be like, your mom will be like, how can you, maybe you're going out, like, how can you even wear that top, like, do you not want to find your future husband? So I think generally, yes, we are conditioned to sort of, embrace like the sort of attributes or behaviors that would, favor us, in terms of this male gaze and everything. I don't think it will ever completely fade out, but I think we have gradually, we've really made progress in terms of, moving away from that. I mean, that's what I feel.
Okay, that's an interesting view. I think another thing, or the main thing that I wanted to pick up on there was the emphasis on single women. Because I could be wrong, but I don't know that BBLs or cosmetic surgery generally amongst women, because let's not forget the fact that men also have cosmetic surgery procedures that they undergo. Let's not forget the fact that men, they now do surgeries to make you taller. Or the short kings. They now do hair transplants for people that, not because you have a medical condition or whatever, but because you just want your shape up to be sharp. Let's not forget that one's also cosmetic surgery. They now do, I even think I heard something about 6-pack kidney that they can. Are you serious? So let's also not forget that men have their own. Yeah. Right? Teeth. what are we talking about? A lot of men get their teeth done. A lot of men get crowns and veneers and so on and so forth. So I'm just putting that out there that it's not a female thing. Cosmetic surgery in 2024 is not a female phenomenon. But the emphasis, even if we're talking in the context of females, on single females is what I question. Because married people also get
surgery done, yes.
So what we now say then, are they also doing it for hookup? Or are they exempt from it because they're married? Like, I struggle with that. I also think people even have surgery after, like, what do they call those things? Like a baby makeover. Like once you've had your children, a lot of women go and get surgery done then.
I still saw one recently, a YouTuber, and I think a lot of people were coming for her. You know, I'm like, the woman's just trying to, you know, make her, you know, some people don't fully, you know, recover or like get back into shape after their pregnancy, and you know that's not what she wants for herself. So why are people coming for her? But people are like, you know, no, Team Natural, like how can you do this? What are you teaching your children? Blah blah blah, and it's like. I mean,
I can't say they don't have a point though. I think to everything we have to be honest with ourselves. Like when you make a decision, I feel like you have to. I always say you can lie to everybody else, but don't lie to yourself. Because if you're going to be really, really honest, if your kid is old enough to remember that, oh, but mommy, you used to have rolls on your stomach. What happened? Your stomach is flat now. Are you going to say, oh, what are you going to say?
She will say the truth.
She'll say that she went to go and get surgery. To her daughter that also will grow up to be a woman that potentially herself will have body image issues. She will tell her daughter that she wants to go get surgery.
I think the issue is when you feel like you're maybe not you're tying yourself, maybe like your identity or your self-worth into like how you look. So
but if you can go as far as going under the knife to change how you look, do you not think you have a strong connection in your own mind between how you look and your identity anyway? Anyone that undergoes that kind, like to that extent, it's a different thing where, I don't know, they have like all these non-invasive procedures now, or going to the gym. I might not say your identity is tied to your body image because you go to the gym, but you go under the knife. Do you not think that's quite a significant way to go if you're not doing it for something to do with something deeper than the superficial?
It kind of does, but on the other hand, husband supported her. He wasn't. In fact, her husband was even like defending her. Okay. Like, you know, oh, you guys should stop coming for my wife. You know, this is like postpartum. Just trying to make herself happy. Blah blah blah. So I mean, I feel like people just have different reasons. I don't necessarily think it's like my body looks so ugly or I look like a whale or something like that. But I just feel, you know, as long as you don't feel, you know, like you don't hate yourself because of the way you look.
How possible is it not to hate yourself when everybody around you looks like that? And then you are now the minority. You with a body that does not reflect surgery is the minority in society now. How possible is it that you don't hate yourself? Everybody's looking a certain way. Everybody has the BBL body. Okay. You're a minority in society at this point because so many BBLs are like accessible. Before they were just celebrities. Now they do BBLs and I can get a BBL like in Lagos.
Are you serious?
Yes. So what I'm trying to say is, how are you then not going to hate yourself when everybody looks a certain way? In fact, you're the odd one out now because you don't have surgery.
Yeah, I feel like the consolation is that before BBLs became like a, would I say, crazy super thing, you know, people who didn't have BBLs were still attractive, you know. They were still being treasured and still being loved and appreciated for who they truly were. And obviously the amounts of beauty that they had, the natural amounts of beauty that they had. So, and I don't think it is entirely different. I mean, fine, a lot of people are being blinded by the whole BBL thing and all of that now, but there are still genuine people out there. And I think most importantly, you should really just love yourself. Like, love yourself enough to know that no procedure will ever make you love yourself more. No, physical change will make you love yourself more.
Yeah.
You can begin to love up on yourself and do some certain things. So, for example, I'll use myself. As someone who is plus size, it's very easy to fall into, what's the word? Basically just, not liking yourself or, having low self-esteem and everything. And so, at some point you would have to really break down, okay, what is it? Is it that I'm looking at other people because of their body shape, or is it the clothing, or is it this, is it? So I think for me, I had a stage like that. And I discovered that, it wasn't so much, even like maybe the size or anything. It was more of, I think mine was more of the clothing, because I was, kind of interested in, and I would see that, I would notice that, when maybe sometimes you enter stores and all the nice clothing is for the smaller people, and then the bigger people, they're giving you like grandma clothes. And then I just started seeing, more people online that they were plus size, but they were dressing really nicely, and I was like, oh, okay, like these kind of people exist. So you can love up on yourself from the inside and then make the necessary changes. But I think like going to the extreme, I don't think so. Yeah, you can love up on yourself, but I feel no amount, if you don't actually love yourself and decide that you're going to love yourself, then there's nothing that you're going to do that will ever make you love yourself. So I mean, that's what I feel. But I just feel we've gone past this. I personally feel that we started going past the stage of doing things for
men,
for hookups and for men. So.
Fair enough. Okay, let's move on to our last story of the day. A movie poster, rather, depicting popular Nigerian actresses wearing niqabs while committing a bank robbery has ignited a firestorm of controversy, rather, in the country. The Muslim rights concern, MURIC, has vehemently condemned the film, labeling it as satanic and calling for a ban. Social media has been ablaze with condemnations, with many users vowing to boycott the film and demanding action against its producers. MURIC has joined the chorus of disapproval, arguing that the film could incite hatred and violence against Muslim women. The group has called on the National Film and Video Censors Board to intervene and prevent the film's release. So this has sort of taken social media by a storm in the past few days. And Muslims in particular are protesting, like, why are you dressed as something that only Muslim women are dressed as, or dressed in a way that only Muslim women are dressed, and doing something that we consider at odds with our faith. Whereas, to be honest, a lot of people have been like, well, assistant Allah, like it's not like, if you know that you're not a terrorist, then why is he paying you? Where do you think you fall?
I actually agree with them. I mean with MURIC, and I think personally, Nollywood sometimes has this tendency to go a bit too far when it comes to, like religious symbols and things like that in movies. So it's different if there are these other I don't know what they're called, but they also sort of look like the niqabs, but they're more fitted, and then it's just the eyes. I think that one would have been like maybe slightly more appropriate. But then,
I think, is this the one that they're wearing?
Yeah, I think that there's another one with like the full on attire, the long. Yeah, but there's a shorter one where it just covers the head.
Yeah.
And then probably like they could have used, like a black long sleeve or whatever, or a black bodysuit. It will still portray the same message, but then using that, I feel I think I've personally had this, grudge against Nollywood for all these religious symbols. And now people are saying assistant Allah. But it's also like, when it comes to the Christian, they're defending their faith. When it comes to using Christian symbols in movies, they have practically bastardized the whole thing. I noticed that Muslims, they will always come out and they will speak out against it. But then when it's like, Christian symbols, everybody just laughs it off. Or, I don't know why. I don't support that. But I feel they have a right to defend their faith. And I don't think they should start feeling like, they are doing the most. They are defending their faith, and you're using a symbol that is important and essential in their religion. So I stand with them, actually.
Yeah, no, me too. I think it's inappropriate, and what's wrong is wrong. The fact that it's done with Christians and it's taken for granted doesn't now mean that when it's done for Muslims, we can now say, actually they do for Christians.
Exactly.
No, it's wrong generally. So just stop, basically. Yeah, I think respecting everybody is super important, especially respecting people's faiths. I mean, you have to draw a line somewhere, right? So yeah, if this movie is not allowed to air, I think that's fair enough. So, thank you so much for watching. This is where we are actually going to draw the curtains for the weekend. You guys are not seeing me here tomorrow because I'm going to turn my alarm off. And I'm now going to have to be awake early. So thank you so much for watching. Remember that you can always use our hashtag Teatime on social media, and you can also catch up on our previous episodes, including this very one, on our YouTube channel at PlusTvAfrica Lifestyle. You can also watch Teatime on R2TV in the UK and on Ben Television and DSTV channel 408. A big thank you goes to my co-anchor, Lydia.
Thank you so much, Mo.
Thank you. And of course to the entire production team. Thank you all as well for watching Plus TV's Teatime. And my name is Molulua. Have a good weekend.